When we think about getting faster on our road bikes, we'll generally think about getting fitter or maybe more aerodynamic. But one look at Peter Sagan racing and you'll realise that being skillful can also be very helpful indeed. Now, Mr. Sagan came from a mountain bike background. Coincidence? No, probably not. And since we have a sister channel named the Global Mountain Bike Network, we thought we would enlist the help of the head presenter there, Neil Donoghue, and see if he can teach us any skills that might help us on our road bikes.
Yeah, Dan, I've got 3 skills for you today, and the first one is cornering. So, should we find a corner?
That would probably be a good idea.
Let's do it. When it comes to finding the most amount of grip possible, it comes down to physics, and the lower you can get your centre of gravity, the better.
Yeah, and lowering your centre of gravity on a road bike is not quite as easy as it is on a mountain bike, where they use these things called dropper seat posts. However, what we can do is put our hands onto the lower parts of the bars here and also lower the trunk of our body, and that will effectively do the same thing.
Yeah, dropping your outside pedal is going to make a difference as well. And in certain situations, it's good to just hover off your saddle to get that pressure through the outside foot to get the most of the grip. Average. Another skill that most mountain bikers can do is a good bunny hop. You might have seen Peter Sagan use one to gain an advantage on the rest of the riders, but more often than that, normal riders can use them for getting over obstacles and things like potholes in the road.
Yeah, and whenever Sagan does do that to great effect, we roadies get extremely excited because, let's face it, not all of us can do it. But as Neil points out, it can get you out of trouble as well out on the open road. So if you come around the corner, there's some debris or some roadkill that you can't steer around, being able to hop over it will get you out of trouble. And likewise with these potholes. Plough straight through this and the likelihood is you'll puncture at least and maybe crash. Being able to hop over it will mean that you get rid of that altogether.
Now, you don't have to use exactly the same bunny hop technique as a mountain bike where you lift front and then back wheel. With a road bike, you're going to have to react a bit quicker than that, so lifting both wheels at the same time should be okay, and the bikes are nice and light. Number 3, looking for the grip. Us mountain bikers ride on a massive variety of surfaces, going from hard-packed grippy dirt to wooden obstacles, slimy rocks and roots. So often it's important to pick a racing line, but actually sometimes more important to look and predict the grip.
Well, I guess we'd be pretty unlucky if we had to deal with slimy rocks and roots on a road, but we still do have different surfaces. Gravel, for example, leaves, potholes like this, roads where there are wet and dry patches, and then in city centres, things like manhole covers and wet lines, painted lines on the road can be particularly slippery as well. So there is still plenty to think about.
Yeah, so I think the same rules apply really. It's trying to do all your cornering and braking on clear pieces of tarmac and then backing off, standing the bike up a little bit in those slippier surfaces.
So let's have a recap. 3 mountain bike skills which us roadies can use to good effect. Number 1, learn how to corner properly by lowering your centre of gravity and keeping your outside foot down at all times. Number 2, scan the surface ahead of you and try and choose the smoothest line and avoid any debris or rough surfaces. And lastly, learn how to hop your bike. It can get you out of all sorts of trouble and it can even help you to win a race. Now, you should head over, if you want to get better at your mountain biking skills, to the GMBN channel, youtube.com/GMBN, a link to which is in the description below.
Yeah, you should definitely do that. And this isn't one-way traffic. You can click up there, that'll take you through to Dan teaching me how to wheelie a road bike.
Teaching him very well, I might add. Previous to that though, he had taught me how to jump a mountain bike, which I did really well. It's just down there.
And give this video a thumbs up if you like mountain bikes.
Oh, and subscribe to our channel too. Click on the globe, it's free.